What's up, everybody? It's Richard here from RC Workbench, and I'm happy to say that I finally got my bomber, my Savvy, tuned and dialed in the way that I want it. It's running great. This is becoming fastly my favorite truck. It's actually running on a HobbyWing 1080 ESC, powered by a 5200 milliamp 50C Lectron Pro 3S battery, and a Holmes Hobbies 15-turn Crawlmaster Sport brushed motor. The suspension upgrades have been the hot racing trailing arms and the hot racing front links, as well as a Treal steering link, which has been discontinued, but I'll put a link for it in the description below anyway. I did remove the sway bar that I installed, the cheap Amazon one, because it fell apart, and I've adjusted the suspension quite a bit that I don't have that torque twist that everybody complains about too bad. I can live with it. This run here is the final dialing in of the springs for the suspension. I'm running 30 weight shock fluid. Basically, when I tuned this suspension, I wanted the rear end to drop down as far as it could go, and I angled the front to be able to bounce off of everything, and you'll see that coming up here in a bit. But like I said, this is fastly becoming my favorite truck to run. I have a future video coming up comparing this setup with an Axial spawn running on the HobbyWing Fusion setup, the 2-in-1 ESC motor combo. And what I found interesting is that the brush setup here in the bomber is actually faster. The Fusion is quicker off the line, but the bomber's faster top end. But that's for a future video. I think I'm going to do a video in the future going over how I have the suspension set up for the bomber here. I'm really pleased with how it handles now. If you like what we do here at RC Workbench, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you really like us, and if you hate us and think we suck, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. You're only going to encourage me to make these videos better. And now for some suspension carnage and tuning. Like I said, I really wanted it to pop in the front and be pretty stable and anchored in the back. I wanted it to be able to hit stuff and just kind of bounce and glide over at the same time, if that makes sense. And I think I got it dialed in to do just that. When the front comes down, you get a little bit of a bounce and a hop, but when the rear hits, it stays planted pretty good, and that's exactly what I wanted. It is a rock bouncer after all. So finding that happy medium between firm and relatively soft to be able to handle stuff like that, to be able to suck it up but then be able to bounce really good too. Took a while to get it dialed in, and it was really cold that day, so my fingers were not working very well, especially the trigger finger. Had a slight delay response on the throttle, some of these. The Savvy is very top heavy, and it takes you a while to get used to the turning radius. You saw in the beginning how I kept rolling it over. Once you get acclimated to your steering angles, you'll roll it over a lot less, but it is very top heavy. It really wants to roll in a turn, and the sway bar actually made that worse. So while I was capturing this footage, I was actually making fine adjustments to the springs on the shocks, trying to find its happy place. I'd also like to take a second to thank Mike from Remote Control Hobbies, Baltimore North. If you find yourself in the Baltimore area, please check them out. Like I've said in other videos, without their help and support, some of our videos would not have been possible. So please support your local hobby shops as well. Trigger finger. So at this point I pretty much got the suspension dialed in exactly how I wanted it. You can see how I can cross thread these jumps and hit them head on at the same time and suck it up pretty good. Unfortunately, you're never going to find perfection. It's all about compromise, and I think I found the ideal compromise and adjustments for this truck. Trigger finger. See, there's no real torque twist in it anymore. But you can see how on bigger jumps, it absorbs that impact pretty good. I just wanted that hop in the front for, you know, straight on impact with something. That was the biggest flock of birds I've seen in a long time. The 15-turn Holmes Hobby has plenty of power to get you up hills, plenty of torque, plenty of top end speed too. Definitely not set up for crawling. This is definitely more of a bouncer than a crawler, and that's how I'm going to run it. I have no intention of actually crawling this truck. It is definitely becoming one of my favorite rigs to run. It's a blast every time I take it out. Thank you very much for watching, and if you liked our video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll know when we have the next one up, and I'll catch you on the next one.